So we're going to use the picture to help us solve this here. So let's see. There was a country concert held in the park. For every 5 women, for every 5 men, there were 8 women at the concert. And so here they're showing me that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles for the men and 8 equally sized rectangles for the women. And right now they have little question marks inside. So how much is each of those worth? Now, what else did they tell me? If 90 more women attended the concert than men. And so here we can see there's more women than men. So you could either, I would recommend redrawing this. So I could redraw it down below as men versus women. And I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's my men there. For women, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's just that redrawing of that. And then they tell me 90 more women attended than men. So then in my drawing here, I just want to focus on the more women than men. They're telling me this chunk right here is worth 90. Okay, well, if that's worth 90, then this right here must be, each chunk must be worth 30 per chunk. And then it's got to be true everywhere. So these are just all 30s. So again, the picture is a pretty powerful way to go about solving this. And so now I can see as far as the men go, there's 5 groups of 30, which is 150 men. And for the women, there are 8 groups of 30. And that would be 240 women for this one right here. So again, the power of using a picture. So we take this proportion of men to women, which on its own would be hard to use with the 90 more, right? So if I look at men versus women, that always is going to have a ratio of 5 to 8. But the 90 is the difference between them. So without the picture, how would I do this? Again, the picture was pretty awesome. Let's try it without. Let's see. There's 90 more women that attend than men. So that means if I take the number of men and I add 90 to it, that's going to give me the number of women. And then I could combine these two together to try and figure out how many men or women there are. So a couple ways to do that. I could rewrite this blue proportion here to say that the men are always equal to 5/8 of the number of women. And I'm just multiplying this missing number of women over to the right side here. So 5/8 times the number of women. Well, if that's true, then I should, in the green equation, be able to replace the men with the fact that they're equal to 5/8 of the women. So now if I combine these two little substitutions, instead of writing men, I'm going to write 5/8 of the women. Plus 90, right? So all I'm doing is replacing men with 5/8 women. And in the green equation, that has to be equal to women. And then I can solve for the number of women here. So to do that, maybe I'll subtract the 5/8 women to the other side. That's going to give me 90 equals the number of women. If I could only spell today. Minus 5/8 of the women. Well, this is one group of women minus 5/8 groups of women, which is going to leave me 3/8 of the women. And that has to equal 90. To get rid of the 3/8 times the number of women, we can just multiply it by the reciprocal 8/3 on both sides. And the whole point is here I have 8 divided by 8, which is 1, and I have 3 divided by 3, which is 1. So now I know the number of women is whatever 8/3 of 90 is. So let's see if that works out the same as what I already know from the picture. Calculator. Where's my calculator? It's way over here. Let's put you in there. So 8/3 times 90 should give me the 240 that the picture showed me more easily. So what made this complicated as far as the proportion goes is that I was also given a difference, and incorporating that difference with the proportion turns out was a bit of work. Whereas if I draw out the ratio and use the difference, I can pretty much see the answer. So picture, it's worth 1,000 words.